on that open day that they've got down there. I'm just waiting for them to get started. Refresh it. So you got Ben down there just setting up, guys. Setting up all his camera gear and that lot.
Well, good afternoon and welcome back for another talk here today at the Parker Baits Open Day. Now, some of you may or may not be aware, but we've just dropped our new flat spot infused floaters. Now, this is really exciting, to be honest with you, because I've been playing about these for what, a year and a half, something like that. And it's quite nice to drop something in the industry that's active out the bag. What do I mean by that? Because it's got our flat spot in, it's very active. You'll put it out and it will cause a flat spot straight away. So this is a high-end pellet as well, so very good for the fish, because a lot of people say, well, why don't you use dog biscuits, Ben? They're a lot cheaper. Yeah, dog biscuits are great. They do the same job. I wouldn't say they're as good at ours because they're not infused, but also from a fish point of view, the nutritional value in a dog biscuit, if they're eating lots and lots and lots and lots and lots of them, and it's a diet that they're seeing on a weekly basis, isn't great for the carp. This is a fish meal based pellet which is made for carp. So what have we done? One of the members of staff, Neil, will sit there on a daily basis. We've got to rotate these pellets, and then we've got to evenly spray our flat spot on them. Well, as you know, a little bottle of flat spot is around £6.99. It's not a cheap product. For anybody who wasn't here this morning, I was talking about the flat spot. And what is it? So the monster crab, I like to say, is definitely not wife friendly, but it's 5 different oils. It's 5 different oils. It gives you a good visual, but it's also got spice in it, in both of them. And I made the joke earlier, Rob, and I said to you, Rob learned the hard way because you taste the flat spot in your eye.
In my eye.
So don't get the flat spot near your eyes or your mouth because it is potent stuff. Now, floater fishing has been around for years and years and years. I mean, my granddad got me into it early stages, going down the lake, fishing off the top with bread. You know, that was the love of where my carp fishing experience has sort of come from, if you like. So it was a no-brainer, like I've just mentioned, for us to drop this floater pellet. Now, in a second, this is great because you've got Mr. Bolger here, and at the end of this, if he wants his signature, you can ask for that. Ongoing joke. If you do watch the videos, you'll know exactly what I mean. He's famous around linear fisheries, and he hates me saying it, so I say it even more. So we offer a 6 and an 11 mil. Again, something different. Why? I think it keeps the fish guessing when they're coming up, because obviously a floater, they've got to physically come up and take it off the top. I think the 6 mils keep them there. And I think these quench their taste, if you like, because I mean, what I mean by that is you'll find that they come up, they mouth the 6 mils, they do take them, but they more aggressively take the bigger bait because the visual's there with an 11 mil. So there they are. Not too much to say about these. What I will say is myself and the family are very excited to show you our new bags as well. Call me sad, but as I get older now, little things like this make me really happy. Massive investment from Parker Baits on new matte bags, and they're also 100% recyclable as well. So now Mr. Bolger's going to get involved, and he's going to talk through something that myself and him we've been working on for, like I said, we've had some serious sessions on this, mate.
It's taken a while to master it. I say master, but it does us fish.
It does us fish. A bit of a taste in your mouth just before Rob starts. Was it last year we dropped our video on V1?
Yeah, we're all good, thanks.
August last year, pre-social, and I think we've done 7 30s off the top.
Everyone had a 30 but me.
There you go. So what I'm trying to put across is if you can get them not just sporadically feeding the carp, but on a frenzy, it can be good fun, mate, isn't it?
It gives me a hell of a buzz.
Yeah, it does. Even more so than zig fishing, fishing on the bottom.
The thing is, you're seeing them coming up. You're watching the fish, and when they start, like you say, Pac-Man, when they start eating up loads of them, you got got 30, 40 carp there and you sat there and watched that one little thing and wait for them to go. That's like this every time.
Yeah.
It's brilliant.
I agree. And on that note as well, like Rob just said, when you can get carp Pac-Manning on top, it's amazing, because what you will find is, and I'm sure everybody will be nodding their head as I say this, bird life is a problem when it comes to surface fishing. Now, if you can really get the fish going, you'll find that it will actually push the bird life away. That scenario we just spoke about, the swans were doing us, the seagulls were doing us, every possible bird was. Even blue tits were getting involved. No, I'm only joking. But there was a lot of bird life. When they started Pac-Man in, it just made the bird life move away. Because it was so aggressive. When you got 30, 40 pounders feeding on the top and they're just smashing mixers, it just gets crazy. So here he is, Mr. Bolger, and he's going to talk through exactly how he fishes from the absolute, how he ties the hook on, why he uses the setting and stuff he does. It's all you, Rob.
Right, so starting off, hook link. I use zig line, you can get floater line. But the main thing is, and you're the same, Jordan, when we did ours, a minimum of an arm width, really. The further that way, that hook bait is from the float itself, the less chance you've got to speak of it. Pretty simple, one end, overhand loop. Got a loop on the one end so you can loop it onto the float itself. And then coming down to the hook, I like Kamakurus, I don't know if anyone knows them, but they are one of the sharpest hooks I've ever used. I just feel like that hook, the fish, because I've had some scenarios where they spat it out. But with the Kamakurus, I find it just hooks them a little bit better.
Just pass it.
I use a little Gorilla knots when I tie my hooks on. I'm always using a size 8. Size 6s, size 4s, they're just going to be way too big. Coming on to the hook bait itself, so you can see, a few people, if you just pass them around, you can use an OG fish, fruit and nut, 15mm pop-up, it doesn't matter what one. I personally like the fruit and nuts. And I'm trimming the one side down, and basically I'm putting a little groove. I don't know if anyone uses them, when you get the scissors, you've got a rigid bit on it.
So guys, this is what they're on about.
Please be careful. Again, there is hooks going round on these ones, so please be careful. Sorry.
You can super glue a little
You'll see
tiny
that, guys.
bit of
Ugh,
not too
we put my
much,
hand behind it.
and then you're just sticking it to the back of the hook. And me and you, it's taken us a while. Pink.
Smart, eh?
If I can pick one visual, pink. The yellows with the sun just don't stand out as much. The whites, all of them, the pink is the one. I mean,
And
for
you,
you,
it's
mate,
funny you saying that, isn't it, Rob? Because we had this conversation the other day. I was like, nah, yellows, mate. And we were fishing 25 wraps up
they're
hard.
fishing far out.
And he was right. Rob was right. The pink is definitely, that visual aspect is so much better when you're fishing at range.
I don't know why, but it just stands out so much more. doesn't it?
100%. Now, obviously, Rob's put a sighter on there. Now, is a sighter necessary every time you're fishing, Rob?
At range, personally, I feel yes. If you're fishing 5 wraps out, then yeah, you don't need it. But linear fisheries, a second hole on this is it. I am fishing generally at range, and to see it pop up on its own amongst mixers, and my eyes are good, that's why I get told. You're not going to see it.
Hiya, how you doing? Welcome to the
Just
live.
that little bit of visual makes a massive, massive difference on itself.
Parker Baits open day
Would you
today.
fish a high
Listening
vis
to
on
a
its own?
talk.
No.
Why is that?
The carp are coming up and they're looking at the mixers for underneath. They're not seeing no pink, yellow, white hook baits floating on the top. That, in my eyes, just like a floater sitting on the top. The way that hook sits underneath, just like that, there you go.
That's how aggressive it is.
As soon as they suck that in, I would say 95% of the time, you do get little ones that miss them. That is straight.
So, obviously, just working off what Rob's just said
Kathleen,
there, being that the weight
welcome.
of the hook is going to naturally flip it up, so you see that pink on the top. But one thing you would have noticed with all of these links going round, especially the ones without the hook, Rob's very clever, and it's something that I've done for a long time, and we've sort of got into it a lot last year. But getting it and almost putting
It's a
that.
little groove. You get the rigid bit on the scissors on these border ones. You just rub them back and forth. You get a nice little groove. Just enough the hook to sit into it. A little bit of super glue. That's all you need.
A little bit of
All I
super glue.
will say, don't put the glue on and just cast it straight out. Give it 5 minutes. Let it settle. Otherwise, you'll be fishing what you think is a hook bait, and it's not attached to the hook. Give it time to dry out as well.
So I'm sure there's a question going around in a lot of people's heads, so I'm going to ask you it. When is it the right time to put the hook link out in the water? So would you just physically rod out? Would you put your hook link out first?
Yeah,
Would you put
guys,
bait out
that's what
first?
they're on
would
about.
you
Me and
do?
you, we all do it. So we'll go around, and it's always got to try and find the fish. When the sun's
You
out,
see, they put a bit of
get the
glue in a
polaroids on,
groove.
You'll be quite surprised how much of a difference they make. And you'll see, even even if you see one, it's going to be a few more.
How
around,
smart
especially
does that look?
2,000 fish.
That's going to be lethal, guys.
There's one there, there's not one far behind. And we will get mixers out.
Yeah.
We'll start maybe 10 to 15 spots and we'll just sit there and wait and start taking. If you see one take, we don't get.
Thank you for
You get
subscribing.
excited, you see one take, you
I do
cast
appreciate it.
let them start feeding. Put a few more spots out and then you get a mix of them. And then once they got confident, it's like the fish when they start feeding on the bottom, they get confident, you've got more chance of getting the
Yeah, I agree. It's no different to me at a buffet. If there's lots of pizza there, I want to get as much as I can in quickly. It's the same with the mixers. I mean, I definitely agree with that. And I think you've got to be sort of very strategic when you add more in and when you don't. I think you can overdo it sometimes, Rob.
definitely overdo it. What I like to do is get them feeding, let them feed it, let it get down to minimal, and then I feel like when they're really going for it, there's not so many about freebies, start picking them a bit quicker. You can nick a
Yeah,
fish,
very
get a little
welcome.
bit spooked, put a few more out, let them go again, and just repeat the process.
Let's try and zoom in on these baits, floater baits here, guys, shall we? Have a quick look. Nice, we're throwing some out in the water there, guys.
Trust the sun. Right, has anybody else got any other questions? Because I'm going to keep firing away questions if anybody has any. 11. Right, so the 11 mils. Being that this is an expander pellet, you're naturally going to find when the pellet hits the water, it's going to expand. Therefore, when it comes to putting it on a band, I would strongly advise staying away from it for that reason. Now, for years and years and years, with my granddad, we used to do it that way, and there's no denying it. I used to drop a lot of fish, 100%. When I mean that, the hook holds weren't great. I was forever putting it back on. This way, I've had fish on that, reeled it back in, played a 30-pounder, and then put it back on the spot, and then caught another. You would not be able to do that with banded pellets. So in answer to your question, no, I wouldn't band the pellets. When it comes to our pellets, I would use them as a feed. Make sure you use them as a feed, and then put your pop outs over the top of that. And it's funny, I think, just working off what Rob said earlier, he was saying about
Yeah,
my
definitely.
favourite is the fruited nut match of the hatch. Now,
Yeah,
if I'm
please
honest
do
with
go
you,
over and
that's one of my least
subscribe to
favourites, but it's down to personal preference,
Catherine.
isn't
Is it?
it? I prefer the fish.
Kathleen.
Because the fish is a darker red colour and actually looks more like this. But then I know Rob will then turn around and say, well, the visual of that's more obvious than the actual thing he's feeding, therefore the fish are hitting it quicker. So there's nobody's right or wrong here, but what I'm trying to put across is when it comes to floater fishing, if you're fishing at range, toppers are going to be, whether you're using whatever colour you're using, toppers are going to change your angling for sure because of the visual aspect.
We're in
And
the
knowing when
UK,
to put more and less in,
Hampshire.
I think is a massive factor.
It's just a massive learning curve. It's like anything you learn as you go on, the more you do it, the better you get.
I think the next one for me is, Rob, and a big one is, when do you strike? Now, we've all been there and you go, oh, and you lose it. And you think, oh, I missed it. How do you avoid that?
Fishing more with you, I used to use 30 grams, which then obviously the lighter floats don't tend to hook this south. You use the 80 grams.
Yes.
80 grams itself.
Yeah.
And me and Jordan were fishing start of May to the point where it hooks itself.
Yeah.
30 grammers, then you've got the problem where you are kind of watching it a bit more and you have got to be there kind of to strike it. But personally, if I've learned from you, if I can get an 80-gram float, near enough, even there, the float would
You would
do
do-
it for me.
and when you say a float, could you just explain what that is? What is the float? Is it
It's not your normal float fishing float. It's the
Starting to rain here, guys.
so the quarter controllers? Does everybody see the quarter controllers?
The surface fishing, quarter controllers, you can get them pretty much in any time.
Love a bit of surface fishing, me, guys.
And you run the line straight through
Straight
them, mate,
through.
don't you? And then you can tie them onto the link at the bottom and then run it down. But I also, one thing I do want to elaborate on, Rob, is what Rob said there. He's nailed it. Everybody fishes on the top, and then they do a hook link that long. That long. It's no good. And then they're fishing, and their hook bait is next to the controller like that. Now, even with this line, you're still going to see it pull. But what I'm trying to put across is, or Rob's trying to put across is the further you've got it away, the better it is going to be, and the more chance of you catching a fish. So I think that's a perfect way to end this talk, being that it's raining now. I do apologise, but it's been good to us all day. For anybody who wasn't here this morning, I just want to say thanks again from the bottom of my heart who's coming. Who come today. It means the world to me and my family. But not only that, this afternoon, because inside the PGA bag one, thank God, because of the rain, and that is at 2 o'clock. So if you are free at 2 o'clock, and remember, if you haven't got your raffle tickets, guys, go over. You win a mystery box and various other stuff. But like I said, from the bottom of my heart, thanks again for everybody coming today. Enjoy the rest of the day, and hopefully I'll see you at 2 o'clock at the PVA bag station. Thanks very much.
So guys, we will be live at the 2 o'clock with their PVA talk. So do come back and join us around 2 o'clock. And we'll keep on plugging away with these lives. Right. It's like they're going around with their rigs and that like at the moment. That I've already shown you. Right, but it is starting to rain. So I am going to put my camera away. And we'll catch you again around 2 o'clock, guys. So come back and join us again. Bye for now.